Hello everyone, welcome to a new chess video. The other day while I was browsing the internet, I found a new, totally spectacular opening trap that lets us win in only 8 moves. It's with the white pieces and it's when we play e4. This trap has fascinated me, especially why? Because it's played against the Sicilian defense. And we already know that the Sicilian defense is one of the best defenses in the world. Very difficult to break down. So with this trap, we'll manage to win in just 8 moves. I like the trap so much that I brought Stitch here to join us. So I've already done all the dirty work to find and study this trap well to show it to you. So the only thing you have to do is leave me a nice like, and that way we're all happy. Alright, chess teacher, how should I play this trap when they play the Sicilian defense against me? Well, you're going to follow up with the most natural move in the world, knight f3. Okay. All of this is normal. Notice that we'd be in the regular, ordinary Sicilian, d6, and then d4 would come. Chess teacher, but is this a trap, or is it the Sicilian that everyone knows? Well, up to here is the Sicilian that everyone knows. From here on is where it's going to change. You'll see the best move here is definitely to take, in case anyone doesn't know, okay? The primary idea of the Sicilian is to play c5, so that with a side pawn, you manage to exchange a center pawn. That's why after the theoretical moves, when white plays d4, black wants to capture this pawn on d4, okay? This is theoretical. The thing is that here, theory tells us that we should take with the knight. And what are we going to do? Take with the queen. A rather strange move that's already starting to deviate from theory. Why is this move strange and not usually played? And the theory is knight takes. Because there's this move, knight c6, which directly attacks our queen and makes us lose a tempo. It's true, some people have played this, and with success. But here he plays the theoretical move, bishop b5. Pinning this knight because that way the queen can no longer be captured. However, look at this spectacular trap. We're not going to do that. Instead, what we're going to do is move our queen away to the a5 square. Okay? Super important to remember this. When he attacks the queen with the knight, we'll place it on a 5. It's going to be a key point. All right, here. What's the most logical move in the world? I'm sure you're all thinking the same one. We're pinning this knight. There's a move, bishop d7, that seems to bother us a lot. Why? First, it's no longer in the pen. Second, it's threatening discovered attacks. If he moves this knight, then he would capture our queen now. Or rather, he would attack our queen. And pay attention, because this trap is so good and so funny and so spectacular that at the very beginning, we make 3 consecutive queen moves. Chess teacher, let's see, question. All my life, you and every chess teacher have told me not to move the same piece multiple times. So how can it be that, well, look at this. I capture this pawn with the queen. 1. They attack it 2. And now when they play bishop to d7, 3. And we come here, strange move. It takes the square away from the bishop. He moves the queen again. It's still in the same pin from the other bishop. Chess teacher, are you going crazy? Yes, I'm going crazy, but you'll see that this trap is absolutely impressive. And very importantly, it works, which is the main thing. I've been testing it, and it works. Here, what is the best and most common move for the black pieces? Well, obviously, to unpin, how do you say it? A discovered attack? I can't even speak. Excuse me. Okay. The discovered attack, knight to d4. Look at what a strong move. 1, they attack our queen. We have to move it because it's attacked by the bishop and the knight. 2, they threaten to trade here and double our pawns. And 3, they threaten to take here and win our rook. Check, and he took the rook. So we'd have a triple attack, right? That we wouldn't know how to stop. For example, if we took here, it would be a very bad move. Why? Because they take here, check, and then they take the rook, since this rook is already well defended. So how should we react, chess teacher? If they make this move, are we already lost? Well, look at this wonderful move. We've already won, okay? They can't do anything. We've completely won. Well, then move. Knight takes knight. And we let him take the queen. Chess teacher, you really are going crazy, yeah. Well, look, if he takes the queen, we just come in with the other bishop, and now we give check. Check, and this king can't escape. He can't go this way nor that way. What do they have to do? Give us the queen. Conclusion, when we take the queen, just notice they have to recapture, obviously. Otherwise, it's even better for us, right? And when they recapture, we're left with 1, 2, and 3 pieces in exchange for 2. We have a clean extra piece, a clean extra knight. And this is only the beginning, because what's coming next is much, much better. Everything is great if, when we come here, they make this mistake that looks like a brutal move for the black pieces. Remember, it's a mistake. Why? What should we do? Capture this knight with the knight, okay? But all right, chess teacher, it's all fine if they do that, but if they play a normal move to defend this pawn, which is what we're attacking, like queen to c7, which I'm sure you all thought of, what should we do? Well, here we're going to perform the windmill attack, and you're going to be amazed by the windmill attack. Look, windmill, you're going to be amazed. It's spectacular. Queen to c7, knight to c3, we develop the knight. All right, what are we going to do here? Well, the black pieces have to consider one thing. Now this queen is here attacking this point. It can move to the other side. It's a bit dangerous, right? And the most likely thing they'll do is what? A 6, right? Since this queen can't do anything, they play a6. And this is a mistake. It's a serious error that you must know how to punish. You must punish it with the windmill attack. Knight to d5, then we've won the game. Spectacular. You attack my queen, I attack yours too. Obviously, it cannot be captured. Right? Why? Because we capture theirs, and not only that, but check, and we take the rook. That's why this queen cannot be captured. Very well. If the queen isn't captured after knight d5, what should the black pieces do? Well, all right. If we're attacking the queen and we're attacking this pawn, they have several options. They have to move the queen back and protect this pawn. One would be here, and another would be here, but we don't care where they go. Why? Because here, we're going to infiltrate the queen through these dark squares. And notice that we're threatening to jump with the knight, huh? And give check and take the rook. But here, we don't care what they do, because they can't defend against this, right? And so what we'll do is, whatever they do, the windmill attack, which is, for example, knight f6, check, right? They have to move the king, the only move. Very good. And then we take with check, they have to move the king, check, and they have to move the king, and we keep taking everything. Check, and they have to move the king, check, and they have to move the king, see? And here you can just keep taking everything. Here you can't take anything else. But for example, you can give check, they have to move the king, we capture this knight here, check, now they don't have to move the king, but they have to take here, and so we're left with an extra rook. And surely if they move the rook away, well, we'd be up material. And we can just keep capturing whatever we wanted. And when we're done, we develop our bishop pair, as we're much better off than our opponent. The windmill attack is spectacular, but it's not everything. All right, chess teacher, so remember, if they play queen c7, I'm going to play knight c3. And you told me, chess teacher, if they play a6, we're going to hit them with the windmill attack. Mistake. But of course, we're back to the usual. What happens if they don't play a 6? Because a 6 is very nice. I use the attack, and that's it. Well then, let's keep moving forward, shall we? Notice they've moved queen c7 to give the king some breathing room. What does it mean to give the king breathing room? This is very important in case you don't know. The king can't move here. He has no breathing room. By moving the queen away, he can now move. And you're going to see why it's so important. Because now it seems that knight d to knight d4 is possible again. Why? Well, for the same reason as before, but now we couldn't come and give check and have him cover with the queen because the king can move away. So now this move seems spectacular. Chess teacher, please tell me there's some way to punish it. Well, of course, since you've left me a nice like and I'm very happy with you all, I'm going to show you how to punish it right away because it's very, very simple. You're the best chess community in the world, huh? As I always say, there aren't many of us. We're few, but we get along very, very well. I give you these videos and you give me a nice like and a nice comment. It's punished in the same way. Knight takes d5, giving away the queen once again. Chess teacher, today you really are going completely out of your mind. Why? Because now, by capturing this queen right here, once I capture with the bishop, I've given up the queen, and they're not forced to give me theirs, right? They can just move with the king. So now what? Well, you're absolutely right. I have to agree with you. Here, they don't have to give up the queen. But it's true that we have a very, very strong attack with our minor pieces. What are the minor pieces? The knights and the bishops. Look, knight to d5. We're attacking the queen. A queen is hard to move because this bishop is covering this knight too, so she's in a dangerous spot. If we check the database and look at Stockfish, what does it tell us? That this is an equal position. And what does it mean if we're in an equal position but we're down a queen? Well, it means our position is much easier to attack and practically impossible for a human to defend. This means that only Stockfish would be able to defend against this massive attack. Let me explain. For example, natural moves, right? For the queen, where can she go? When we play around here, she could come to a 5 to give us a check, and that would be a serious mistake because after bishop d2, this queen would be totally trapped. As you can see, thanks to the minor pieces, our 4 minor pieces ensure the queen has nowhere to go. So look at this, okay? Knight d4, queen a5 check. It's a mistake because of bishop d2. Fine, but they're not forced to go for queen a5 check. They have other squares. For example, what if they come here? Right. Oops, sorry. Where are you going, crazy? Notice they can't go here, or here, or here. And we saw that here is a mistake. What if they come here? We're punishing every single option. If they come here, the right move is bishop e3. And I guess y'all see the logic in that, right? What's the logic? Placing this queen with the bishop in x-ray to set up a spectacular pin and launch a discovered attack with the knight. If it were our turn again, we'd play, say, knight e6 check. Check with the knight, they'd have to take here, and then we'd take the queen. And here, notice she has no other square, because she can't take here, or here, or here, or here, or here. She could only come here. And she'd be losing a tempo because she lets us develop this bishop. So, before I waste any more of your time, I'll just explain what happens if they retreat back here. If they play c5 first, then bishop here, then come here, it's exactly the same, but they've lost the tempo. Alright? They've lost the tempo. Why? Because we've developed the bishop. This would be the best solution, to move backwards. Even so, it doesn't mean we're going to lose. We have a super strong move. So look, this is very easy to memorize, because the answer is the same, bishop d2. Same as before, you remember, right? If they came with the queen here, bishop to d2. If they come with the queen here, first bishop here, and when they go back, bishop to d2. Very well. And then, what if they come directly here? Bishop to d2 as well. And what are we threatening with this bishop? Well, it's very easy, right? I'm sure you all see that. Coming over here and with the 2 swordsmen, giving checkmate to the king in the very near future. So here, a logical move. What could it be? Well, I'm sure you're with me that if we play bishop to d2, most people are going to think, well, I'll play g6 and prevent you from coming here with the bishop. Well, I'm going to show you how to punish them whether they play g6 or not, because I like you to have all the options covered. Why? Because when you go out to battle, you can respond correctly no matter what they do. Agreed? Very well. What happens if they play this one? How should we continue? Well, here we have a quite interesting solution. Notice that they've left us. Every pawn move creates a weakness, okay? My teacher always used to tell me this. When they advance this pawn, look at this weakness we can exploit with a knight check. And what are we doing with this check? Forcing our opponent to move the king, and not only that, because he can't go here because the knight is there, so he must step into the same diagonal as the bishop, either here or here. What would we do? Take advantage of the discovered attack again, for example, by taking here, and we'd take the queen on the next move. Therefore, we would win back the queen and we'd have extra pieces. We would be completely winning. Very well, this is all very nice, chess teacher, but what if they don't play g6 here when I play bishop to d2? Of course, because he's seen that g6 is a very bad move because of the knight jump. And they play anything else, for example, knight to f6. What should I do? Well, logically, if they don't prevent the threat, we'll go ahead and carry it out. And now, they only have 2 options because the king can't move, you see, right? One is to give us the queen. If they give it to us, perfect. And if they don't give it to us, they have g6, which seems much better. How should we continue? Well, obviously, we must sacrifice our knight. I'm sure you've seen this move. Knight takes g6, a double exclamation mark move. We attack the queen, we attack the rook, so if they don't capture this knight, they're going to lose material. And besides, it would be a discovered check. What they have to do is capture here. They have no other choice. See? No, they have no other choice. And then bishop takes pawn, check. And what's happening? That this king cannot escape. Notice that they played the most correct move in the position, pulling the queen back. Even so, look how hard it is to defend, right? So now, since they can't move the king, they have to sacrifice the queen again. Very simple. We capture it, and then they capture ours. It's true, they've played correctly for the position because we've won the queen, but they also just won ours a moment ago, right? So we have two pieces against two pieces, two rooks against two rooks. But yes, we have two extra pawns that are going to be very easy to take all the way to the end. Notice they've played correctly. However, we can castle, bring the rooks to the center. We're up two pawns. The position is still much better for us. And now, before explaining the best part of the video, which is the final trick that for me is the crown jewel of the video, I have to explain a detail that you can't overlook. Why? Because if here, when we're attacking, they've played queen c7, we play knight c3. They don't play a6, okay? But they play another discovery move, right? A discovered attack with this knight. We've seen that this loses to knight takes knight. But what if they play it here? Sure, chess teacher, here we might have more problems. Does the sacrifice work? Well, yes, the queen sacrifice, knight takes knight, well, yes, it works, and it's epic. Watch out, knight takes knight. I'll just go through it quickly, because it's very simple to understand. Why? Because now when they take our queen, it's true that when we take the bishop, this king can move. If they give us the queen, wow, great, we take it, and that's it. But they can move the king, right? And when they move the king, we enter from the other side. Look, check here, and when the king moves, we're going to take the rook. And even though we don't have a queen and they do, we have material advantage, and our pieces are much better. And this knight will also be able to get out. They won't be able to take it. So this is a very favorable position for us. It's too complicated, even if our opponent has the queen, to win this game with black. Because if you start counting, I don't want to waste your time in the video. You can do it later. If not, I'll tell you, we have material advantage. And now, without further ado, we move on to the crown jewel of the video. So, all this I've explained is how to win with this trap. But now, look, we've seen that against the 6, we used the windmill attack. If they came with the knight, we used the queen sacrifice. If they came with the knight, we used the queen sacrifice. But now, chess teacher, you who've been testing it, now tell me what they play against you most in real games. And now, in this final part of the video, I'll quickly explain how to win if they play what they did to me, okay? Real game part. Everything's very nice, the theory, right? But really, what do they play against you? Well, what they played most here was knight f6. Not a 6, which they've played, nor this one, they've played all three, but the one they've played most is knight f6. And so, what do? Well, here I set a spectacular trap that I love. I play with their psychology. I say, I'm quite afraid they'll start attacking the queen with a 6 and b5. And so what do? I pretend to withdraw it. I withdraw it a little bit. And then most, I'm telling you the truth, want to carry out this attack to annoy the queen even more. Right? Does the queen bother you? Well then, I'm coming to attack you. And then what I do is jump with the knight. Now you're going to see the importance of this queen here. Why? Because I'm threatening to take here and double their pawns. Something nobody wants. Because I'm threatening the queen and doubling pawns. So they don't want to move the queen because it would expose the king. And what do? They capture here and they're already completely lost. Because simply after pawn takes pawn, this knight right here is pinned. They don't realize that the queen is undefended back here. So we attack the knight and this knight simply can't move. Notice one thing, if they try to kick out our queen, which is what they always do, simply, super important, there is only one winning move, which is to stay on the same file as the opponent's queen. Now, they can't move the knight because we'd win the queen, whatever they do. What will we do? Well, simply capture the knight and play with an extra piece. Well, this fabulous trap, which I loved, let me know in the comments what you thought of it, if you knew it or not. Because I had no idea, I loved it. Please leave a like, as I work hard on a daily video every single day for you. You just have to watch and enjoy it. So, leave a like. And now, friends, I will see you in the next video. Bye.